I move the resolution. Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity.
Please speak on this.
Hello. Hello.
आप इस पे बोलें, please.
Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to talk on this most important subject. I want to congratulate all our sisters in Anganwadi workers who are working and giving yeoman service and contributing to our country, particularly in rural area of India. Anganwadi scheme has completed its 50 years golden jubilee. Happy golden jubilee. Let me talk a little bit about Anganwadi centers, sir. In 1975, ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, was developed to look after pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children between the age of 0 to 6 years. Basically, it was a form of ECCE, early childhood and care education. It continued for a long time in a buffer zone, taking care of malnutrition. A big change came in 2002. Under the leadership of our Prime Minister, then our Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he took a major step with the 86th Amendment of our Constitution. This led to all children born in our country having a fundamental right to free and compulsory education between the age group of 6 to 14. And also, Article 45 was amended and created a DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy for ECCE. Sir, education is a magic wand. Whomsoever it touches, their life will change. Everything is possible with education. It makes a person's different destiny. It improves the society. It also contributes to the country's economy if you are educated. Nobel laureate Dr. James Hackman once said, if you give 1 rupee, invest it in the quality, early childhood education, it will lead 13 times more to the economy of the country. So data shows if you invest 1 rupee in the hard infrastructure, it also grows, it also improves the country's economy, but it is only 2.3 times. That only shows the importance of early education to our children. In 2018, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji revamped and expanded ICDS to Poshan 1.0. This was the most important work because it started initiating the digitalization of the Poshan tracker. This enabled monitoring and strengthening of Anganwadi worker center service. It was a massive work. It was not easy because our country is large. It was started in 2018, but it was completed, application was completed in 2021. I want to congratulate the Ministry of Women and Children Department for their hard work, which has been a great success. In 2001, Poshan 1.0 was further revamped, and it was called Mission Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 for integrated, holistic development of the child and nutrition. It has 2 divisions. One is Saksham Anganwadi, which gave more importance to infra development, and Poshan 2.0 providing to take home rations to lactating mothers, pregnant women, and children between the age of 0 to 3. It also gave healthy snacks, healthy lunch. Doctors say, with their research that it's very important, first 1,000 days when a mother conceives and the child grows up, it comes to 2 years, 3 months. They are the crucial days where the mind and the body develops. And taking care of that, Government of India has done a fantastic work giving lactating mothers, pregnant mothers, this taking ration home. In 2023, Government of India came with a new campaign, PB, Poshan B or Padai B, which is a very beautiful line actually, which gives a uniform training to all Anganwadi workers all over India, and this scheme is valid for 2023 to 26. Until that, every state used to have their own scheme. Some people will hire an NGO, some people have their own way of tackling the problems. Now there is a steady, systematic Anganwadi worker training. In 2024, Ministry of Women and Child Development introduced two curriculums. One is Navachetana for 0 to 3 years. Other one is Adarsh Chila between 3 and 6 years. This curriculum provided Anganwadi workers to monitor the development of a child, organize preschool activities, and many more things. Sir, I want to give some analysis of the importance of ECCE. NEP 2020 notes that it is important that children receive good education between 3 to 8 years. During that period, children's cognitive, motor, socio-emotional skills will develop very well. NEP 2020 also tells that it is between up to age 6, your brain, 85% of your brain will develop. Sir, let us now look at some numbers. According to the statistics, in 2021 estimation, there are 16.1 crore children between the age of 0 to 6 years. That means it is 11% of our population. Sir, our portion tracker notes that there are 3.5 crore children, but between the age gap of 3 to 6 years attend Anganwadi centers. Additionally, there are 4 more crore children who are benefited by these schemes. There are a few well-off people in our country. Their children will go to private schools, and I'm not talking about that. I'm standing here on the behalf of all those remaining children here, sir. Where do they go? When it is a 16.1 crore and 3.5 crore plus 4 crore negligible well-off people who will go to school, where are the remaining children? Where will they go? They don't come to Anganwadi, then where will they go? Probably they may be rowing on the dusty roads in the rural area. Or they may be accompanying their parents in a dangerous working places like railway tracks, etc. Or they may be playing somewhere without any supervision. And I care for those children. I stand here, sir. As Anganwadi education is not compulsory, these children are always neglected because the method is, the rule is 6 to 14, so nobody bothers between 3 to 6. There are many reasons for that. Number one, parents are normally, these are the people who are not well off, who are working. They are not even aware of the importance of Anganwadi education between 3 to 6, where your brain develops, where you get nutritional food, where you have preschool activities. They are not even aware of it. Second one, they may not even have a time to think about it because they are so busy in making both ends meet for their livelihood. They say they don't even think. Number 3, anyway, they have an attitude. The child will go to school after 6 age for the standard one. Why worry about it? They are not aware by doing that it is going to affect the children's future and their capacity. Result of this is very upsetting, sir. Let me take 2 examples. Let me take a girl A and a boy B. I always believe girls are smarter, so let me tell that one. Both of them are brought up in the same atmosphere in a rural area where there's Anganwadi, and girl A or a girl will go to Anganwadi between 3 to 6. She will learn cognitive skills, motor skills, socio-economic skills. She will learn good hygiene habits. Everything happens to her. Her brain is also developed. The other child who doesn't go from the same area, and both of them at the age of 6 go to school in the first standard. The girl A will have step by step, so she goes to the next step. The boy B is not able to go to step 1, he has to jump to step B. The child which comes to school without any preparation of any of these skills gets scared. These are the hurdles the child sits at the back bench probably, worrying that what will I do, how will I talk, what the teacher will say. I don't know what is I, E or ABCD, whatever language you have. Doesn't know how to count, doesn't have any other skill except that he has played last 3 to 6 years somewhere else. The child gets diffident. The child is worried. Child thinks about his self-esteem and self-worth. The child is scared. This is not for all children. There are many children who directly come to class 6. They also can overcome, but if the child has great potential. But I'm talking about normal children. Then if the child has to improve, a teacher, a parent, or the child, or all three of them should consult, then it is possible to overcome this hurdle. Many a times it is not possible. So the child carries this of scared of learning, going to school, the joy of learning, the joy of going to school, because the fundamental is weak. When you build a building and your base is not good, the building will collapse. So the same thing will happen to the children who do not have a good base, and that is a mental base. So this dark mark will remain with the child even when he or she goes, other classes. The results are really difficult. The child will not enjoy his education. Sir, children are our future. They are rising sun. Their early education should benefit to their life. Hence, I request through you, sir, to our government to consider amending our constitution to give fundamental right to education from year 6 to 14 years to 3 to 14 years. Just increase 3 more years, but fundamental years, not later years, so that children can stand up in life with a good base and good skill. Sir, let us look at some opportunities in case it has been amended. Number 1, the female labor force participation will increase because of the more Anganwadi workers and Anganwadi helpers in Anganwadi centers. Second, the family of children who are going to work, their productivity is very high because they are not worried about where the children will be at that time. The most important thing is the early detection of disabilities. Suppose the child goes to Anganwadi, there's a screening method. There you will come to know the child is, in speech or in hear or in either malfunctioning is happening. Early screening helps them their future, because they can get corrected in an early stage. We always say when the sapling you can bend a sapling when it is very small, young, in any direction. Once it becomes a tree, it's very difficult to move. Similarly, any intervention, any help is required for such children with some malfunctioning is there, that can be taken care in screening. And this is one of the most important things in Anganwadi. Number 4, children brain is completely developed by this time. It's a great boost. Sir, I have a few more humble suggestions to the government, to the Madam Annapurna Devi. We must have a large-scale awareness for this 3 to 6 year education. The beautiful campaign which caught my eye was Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Similar kind of a campaign is required for children between age 3 to 6 to go to Anganwadi. The government can consider, state government can consider to rope CSR funds from industries. Sir, every company has CSR mandatory, which is 2%. And second thing is, there are certain rules are there which the schemes come under CSR. Some schemes do not come under CSR. I would request ma'am to think over it. Anganwadi improvement scheme, you should put it in CSR, you should list in CSR so that industry can also participate in this. Normally, Anganwadi workers feel this title, sir. When I work with Anganwadi workers, they always say, we don't like to be called Anganwadi workers. I said, why? No, we like the word Asha. Asha looks nice. Maybe in that atmosphere, the word Asha has a lot more Asha. Whereas Anganwadi is like, they think, oh, you are like anybody else, I want some other name. So there are many names, sir, but I have one suggestion. decision is ultimately government. Deepa. Deepa. This is the word which is a light. A light is light is synonymous with knowledge. A lamp is remove the darkness. Darkness is ignorance. Deepa is a word which is valid from north to south and east to west. Everybody understands the meaning of Deepa is the same Deepa. So this gives them a kind of resilience, kind of enthusiasm to work. Because in village area, Asha is more important. They always feel Anganwadi is not. So this is a small psychological lift I want to give. Whenever Anganwadi center infrastructure is made, modified, I would request government to consider child-friendly. It should be made more child-friendly. Sir, I know it is not easy task. It is difficult, I know, but it is possible. You require enormous amount of time, sir, because you can see the history. Vajpayee ji took a step in 2002, but in 2009 it was the RTE, or right to education was implemented. In 2000, it took 7 long years. Similarly, 2018, portion tracking system started and it came into existence after 3 years. So it takes time. Logistics, many logistics are required to implement this. Most important is like a heart is financial implications. Though it is a lot of investment and it has a lot of thinking on financial implications. 4, India is a large country with a large population. It is not like, what you implement in a smaller country, it is in 20 days, it's not possible in India 20 months, because it is a huge country with huge population. And wherever you want to implement different methodology, different things have to use in each state. But sir, we have to do this. I urge government to consider this. Sir, if we want to change the destiny of our children, our country, in our country, only we have to do. I will quote a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. It was asked to Krishna, who can help? Who is my good friend? Who is my my enemy? Krishna says, Atmahi Atmano Bandhur, Atmahi Ripu Atmana. You are your best friend. Who is my enemy? You are your own enemy. Suppose, sir, my country has to develop, we have to work. We the people, we the society, we the government, all of us have to work to improve our country, to make it better in our country. Everything should work, then we have to work. We should not depend on anybody. Sir, Shri Modi ji's vision is always Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is one of the fantastic methods, sir, because you are depend on yourself. Atmahi, Atmano Bandhur, that means your friend. And if you don't do that, you are your enemy. Atmahi Ripu Atmanaha. It makes us self-sufficient, self-reliant, and it makes us confident people. And that's the reason I feel, with all the difficulties, we the people, we the government, we the society, we the school, all should participate in this big movement of the age between 3 to 6, making compulsory learning method or Anganwadi system. Sir, now I want to give some examples. For example, when the job is uphill task, walking on a hill, uphill is not easy, but it can be made flat. I'll give 3 examples. The first example I would like to give is Huainat Sung in 629 AD. He was a Chinese traveler, a bright Buddhist monk who wanted to come to India and go to Nalanda. His ultimate thing was Nalanda, a great Buddhist university at that time, and learn there, take the text, Chinese, Indian Buddhist text back to China. When he decided, everyone gave advice to him. Anyway, in India we are famous for giving free advice. He also must have got a lot of free advice there, saying that you can't go. It's a distant land. It's the western side. How will you go? The emperor of the Tang dynasty at that time was very fond of him. He said, you cannot go. How can you go to India? By foot, it is not possible. So he imprisoned him. But Huainat Sung, escaped in the night. He walked Gobi Desert by foot, took the Silk route, and came to Kannauj, then to Patna, and then to Nalanda. He learned there as a student first, and later he became a teacher. And he wrote a book known as CUK, Wandering in the West. For Chinese, we are Westerners. So he says, Wandering in the West, he talks so much about India, the life of Indians in 629 AD at Kannauj. And he describes Peshawar, he describes Patna, he describes Nalanda and many more places, including Sanchi. He describes all those things. And he took those books back to China. Today, if we want to know something about India at 629 AD, we have to refer a Chinese book, CUK, which gives all the detailing. Why did he do that, sir? It was not needed. He was a good Buddhist monk. He could have sat in a Xi'an, in a pagoda, and he could have led his life. He said, no. My passion is to go and earn knowledge. My passion is to go uphill work, make it flat, and achieve it. To get this knowledge, I have to work hard. I should have patience. I should undergo all difficulties, but then only I can get it. But only I can do this. I don't care about anything, but I care for the knowledge. So it is possible in life, whichever they look uphill task over a period of time, with patience, with perseverance, with passion, we can achieve. Sir, if we decide to do this 3 to 6 year compulsory, it is to some extent uphill task, but we can do with patience of time. We can do this with perseverance of following up with the people, with the society, and we should have passion for that. Otherwise, it is not possible. Any amount of money you may have, but if you do not have these 3 P's, it is not possible to achieve at all. Secondary example I want to give, however funny, but I just, because it's my own experience, I thought I should share to this august house. I'm a small person. Compared to Huenat Singh and all, I'm not a great person. Sir, in the year 1974, when I did my engineering, there were hardly few lady engineers in India. And I saw an advertisement where House of Tatas wrote, lady engineers need not apply. Because the work was in Jamshedpur as well as in Pune and many places. And as a young girl, I wrote a postcard to J.R.D. Tata, who was the head of Tata Industry. I wrote to him, maybe because at 23 you're all idealist, and there's a very famous saying, at the age of 20, if you're not an idealist, you don't have heart. You continue to be, you don't have brain. It's for fun. So I wrote a letter to J.R.D. Tata asking this simple question on a postcard. I said, sir, if any country has to progress, if any society has to progress, then men and women should participate. Women are 50% of the population. And if you say, even though they are technically qualified, and if you say lady students need not apply, that means you are not opening a door for a technical person in your company. Sir, that is not fair, because if half the population is not allowed to work, then country will not progress. So there is nothing great about me writing, because I was a young idealist girl. And I did not have, sir, I come from a teacher's family, and I did not have any connection to the corporate world. I did not know anything in politics, nor I have any other equipment to reach JRE. It's only a postcard. I was well equipped with education, and education was my weapon. Education was also my asset. The greatness was JRD, sir, not me. He read that letter, he said, yes, what this young girl has asked has a valid point. If the society has to change, we have to allow many things to do. And one of them is allow women to work in a factory. He must have faced, because Sir JRD is not here now, he must have faced many things. His colleagues saying it is not correct, where the girl will stay, where the ladies' toilet will be there. But he said, if you want to start anything new, we have to start at any cost. The rest is history. I joined House of Tata. And it is nothing great about me, sir. It is great about that leader whose vision was so great, who had a beautiful blue eyes, which I remember, the vastness of the sky, the depth of the ocean. He understood not a postcard, the content of the postcard, the meaning of that. If we do not work allow the opportunity for remaining people to succeed in life, it is not correct in a society. Similarly, I feel, sir, if we do not train our children between the age of 3 and 6, if they don't become good citizens, they may become good citizens, but they may not be well equipped with knowledge. The error lies with us. Error lies with us. I will give one more example, sir. Being a history teacher's daughter and a granddaughter, I'm prone to history. In 1969, Neil Armstrong went to moon and placed his first foot on the moon. He gave a very famous statement. It may be a single step on the moon, but it's a big leap for the mankind. This generation people may not know. At least 1969, I have heard there was no TV. I've heard every conversation, so I remember it. Sir, it's the same way, like what Huenat Singh talked about 10,000 Li journey. Li is a Chinese measurement in those days of the distance. Sir, all these projects are difficult, but you have to take one step at a time, but you have to take it. Otherwise, there is no way. If we take one step today, next generation will have a leap, jump in their life, which is nothing but our asset. I will give one more example, sir. In 1815, there was a young person by the name Prince Bismarck of Germany. His early childhood educator was his mother. Maybe 0 to 3 or 3 to 6, what she taught him. Beta, you should do the following things. She told him, keep personal hygiene very good, respect time, keep house clean, go for detailing, in any work, become efficient, and many more things she taught. He learned that, and it became a part of his life. When he became a Chancellor of Prussia in those days, he made all his subjects in that country all these principles. Keep personal hygiene, keep roads clean, keep parks clean, respect time, be efficient, go into the detailing, and become efficient. And it continued for 2-3 generations. It became a part of DNA of Germany. So today, Germany is synonymous with efficiency, accurate measurement, precision, and cleanliness. Sir, anything we do every day, it becomes a part of DNA. So I want all mothers and parents should understand, like how we brush our teeth, take bath, have breakfast and go to school. All parents and mothers should have that kind of a DNA, that children at the age of 3 should get up, brush their teeth, have their breakfast, go to school. This should be automatically it should happen. Reflection should be immediate reflection. To happen that, we have to practice continuously. To practice that, we should have a project first. We should have a project, then you have to practice. It becomes a part of DNA. When it becomes a part of DNA, without any effort, you do that work. And this should become a DNA in Indian culture. To have that, sir, we should have this project. My submission to the government through you, sir, is to please consider this request seriously. Sir, our Prime Minister's dream is Viksit Bharat or Developed Bharat in 2047. To realize his dream, there are many paths. This is one of the paths I consider. Well-developed nation it is always with well-developed people. One such path is ECCE, that is Early Childhood Care and Education. If we implement it now, those children who receive this Anganwadi services will there inherit Viksit Bharat dream in 2047 as confident, self-reliant, healthy citizens. Sir, Rome was not built in a day. Independence was not given in a day. Many leaders, many years, sacrificed their lives, their personal life, struggled, and at the end we got independence. So these projects are not immediately, in a day it is done. We require time, but we have to do this one. We should only realize our dream and our children will appreciate our effort, once we have 3 to 6 or 3 to 14 years of education, compulsory, all over India, free education, which should become a birthright. It is possible under PM Modi ji's leadership, sir. I'm confident about it. Next generation people will remember him, owe to him that he changed their life. How Mr. Vajpayee changed, made a change, in 2002, the RTE, that 6 to 14, I think our Modi ji will do 3 to 14. Sir, I would like to conclude. Being a teacher for many years, until the next bell rings, I may go on talking. I do not want to do that today. I want to take a quote from Gita, which Krishna says about Atma. But I will tell this one to Vidya. For me, Vidya, education, knowledge are synonymous. This is a beautiful shloka. He says, Nainam chandanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayan apo, na sheshayuti marutaha. He says to Atma, but I will tell, if you learn some skill, you learn your education in a proper way, you master Vidya. When you master Vidya, no thief can come and steal it. It need not be kept in a Godrej locker. Nobody can cut it into pieces. It remains solid in your heart. It cannot be burnt with Agni because it is imperishable. It cannot be drowned in water because it's above the water. No wind can take it to the distant destination because it is heavier than that. Education is that asset. Everybody should owe it. Everybody should have the right on it. Education can change your life forever. Education is something which is not inherited but to be learned in a proper age, in a proper school, with a proper teacher, with a proper leader, with a proper society, with a proper government. And we have all those things in front of us. I'm really grateful, sir, for your opportunity you have given to me to talk such a long time. And thank all my colleagues for patient hearing. Thanks for giving me this great debate time. And Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. With these words, sir, I present the resolution to the House. Dhanyavad once again.
Dhanyavad Sudha ji. Resolution moved. I now call upon the members whose names have been received for participation in the discussion.